Okay, so today we're talking about subject, verb, and complement, which is breaking down the sentence to its fundamental structure. As we have learned since elementary school, subject is the most important thing in a sentence. It is the thing that we are talking about, followed by predicate, right? So these are the two main elements of a sentence. So what is a predicate? It is what we say about the subject, right? So it is verb plus whatever follows the verb. It could be a direct object, an indirect object, predicate noun, pronoun, so on and so forth. But essentially, when you have subject and when you have predicate, the verb, you have a sentence, no matter how short it is. So, for example, pilots fly, subject, verb, or predicate. Flowers bloom, subject, verb. She sings, subject, verb. Okay. But there is one exception. You can have an imperative sentence without subject, but you need the verb still. And what you need is you have to start with base form verb. So for example, when your parents say, be quiet, or take a seat, or finish your homework, all these are complete sentences as well, but they do not have subject. But as you can see, these imperative sentences are often used to give commands. So children also call them bossy sentences. But either way, let's kind of take a look at the different predicates or whatever follows our verb. So what do we mean by direct object? A direct object is the receiver of a transitive verb. So transitive verbs are usually action verbs, right? So the receiver would be the thing that is being impacted directly. For example, I killed Bob. Killed is transitive, that is a verb, and Bob is my direct object. So I is the subject and killed Bob is the predicate. Or mom made breakfast. Made is a transitive verb, so breakfast is the direct object. So mom is the subject and made breakfast is our predicate. Now, what is indirect object? Indirect object comes after the verb as well, and it is being indirectly impacted. For example, I gave Ray a pen. Gave is the verb, but what is being given? It is the pen that is given. So pen is the direct object and Ray is the indirect object. So gave Ray a pen. The whole thing is my predicate. Now, what is a predicate noun, pronoun, or predicate adjective? It also comes after our verb, but this time it comes after our intransitive verb or linking verb, like be verb. Ray is a smart student, right? So is my linking verb. So is a smart student, that is my predicate, and student is my predicate noun. Okay, so essentially the difference between object and predicate noun depends on the verb it follows. If it's transitive, it's followed by direct object. If it's linking verb like is, are, it's followed by predicate noun. Or I could say Mary is short, right? Short is an adjective following the linking verb. So is short is my predicate, Mary is my subject, and short would be my predicate adjective. All right, and you might be wondering, okay, so that leaves objective complement. What is objective complement? It's simply a noun or an adjective that describes the object. Okay, so if it describes the object, we can guess that, oh, it comes after a transitive verb. For example, I cut my hair short, right? What is my predicate here? cut my hair short. Cut is my transitive verb. Okay? And what is being cut? My hair. That is the direct object. What is short? Short is an adjective modifying hair, direct object. So my short would be objective complement. And that is what predicate means. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the difference between direct object and predicate noun. So keep in mind that direct object follows transitive verb, right? Like do, hit, kill, drive, eat, finish. Predicate noun follows linking verbs. And the most common linking verbs would be be verbs. There are other verbs like appear, seem, so on and so forth, but linking verbs, they're not action verb. They don't take on the receiver. So for number one, Dr. Rose is a pediatrician. Well, is a linking verb. So pediatrician is a doctor for children. That would be our predicate noun. I'm going to type PN from now on. Okay, so same thing with number two. Dr. Chen is, that is my linking be verb. So professor is predicate noun. For number three, what is my verb? Actually, it is understood. And to understand something or understand someone, there is a receiver at the end because it's a transitive verb. So that's why a word in this case would be our direct object. I'm going to type DO. So forgot, for number four, you forget something, you forget someone. So it is transitive verb as well. So that is why thing is the direct object. Number five, the treasurer of the college requested our presence. So what is the verb? It is requested, right? And you always request something. So it is transitive. So our presence would also be our direct object, okay? And that is the difference between direct object and predicate noun. Look at your verb, know your transitive verb, and know your linking verb, okay? And I didn't give any example sentence on predicate adjective, but essentially it follows a linking verb and it is an adjective. For example, Dr. Rose is smart. Dr. Chen is experienced. So smart and experienced would be your predicate adjective. And that is our first class on identifying subject, verb, and our complement.